All right. This is episode 2 of the Anti Podcast with Chloe, and not Evan this time because he's sick. And you can't see me doing the hang loose hand motion right now, but he's very ill, I guess. So it's just me. You're just listening to my sweet voice tonight. But yeah, I have been looking. We're at 19 plays on the first episode, which is more than I thought would happen, because that's more than all the friends I have. So that means that there's like some new people listening, which is really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to, all the people that I did talk to about it, including Evan. Thanks for helping me out with the first episode. And he will be back for more, don't worry. But yeah, this is really cool for me because I've never really gotten out into this type of thing, or stepped out really until this year. I've never worked in like media or like sound engineering or anything like that, but I'm doing pretty good so far, I think. I mean, 19 plays means this is at least semi-listenable, which is cool. But yeah, first I wanted to get into my awesome weekend with all my close friends, my close group. It was Raina, Evan's girlfriend's 19th birthday. So happy birthday, Raina. Late birthday. Very late birthday. And I was yelled at a little bit by my core friend group because I forgot to name one of my closest friends, Lydia. Sorry about it, girl. I don't know how I blanked, but Lydia's really cool. She's like a buff, like, swimmer. She could definitely put you in a chokehold and knock you out if you piss her off. Yeah, don't ever challenge her in a push-up contest because she will win. But yeah, hi Lydia, sorry. And shout out Liv. Liv, she's a really cool chick I met over the weekend. Big, musician, all that. So I would like to plug her stuff at some point, maybe get her on here. But yeah, just wanted to say thank you, a big thank you, because this really does mean a lot, the fact that I'm getting some support, It means that there's something here. And it's really awesome. It gives me hope. Speaking of hope, I wanted to kind of get into like my thoughts on like what I think is happening to the music industry, because if I'm being honest, I'm a little scared, considering like, you have your whole Steve Lacy bullshit where he's like stomping on a little camera because somebody pissed him off on stage and then walks off after he was singing his TikTok song. And then you have Kanye West being an anti-Semite, which is not chill at all, but he's dropped a couple $100 million, so I can't be mad at that. Yeah, I don't know. I hope everybody turns their back on him because he sucks. But yeah, I'm just saying that because I can, because like, what are they going to do about it? I'm sure they're not one of the 19 people listening, unless, Lydia is secretly Steve Lacy or Kanye West, which could be likely. Speaking of like just music in general, because that is what I talk about on here, hello. I've been attempting to do like original stuff and come up with just like little riffs and all of that, and trying to get involved in like, bands and all of that good stuff, and I found it kind of difficult. And I mean, the band part specifically, I think might just be because I'm a girl, because I feel like there's always like some form of almost hesitation when it comes to forming any type of like group or really, getting together and actually doing something or jamming even, because I've attempted with many people And even people that are very close to me, I feel like there's kind of this hesitation for some reason, and I don't know that I understand really. It's just a little disappointing. Like, it's not so much like disrespect, because it's not like people are being like, some sexist asshole. Like, it's just a big, like, there's just so much hesitation, even though it's not that deep, I'm not like, I'm not Joan Jett. Hello. She did that already. But I've just found it so difficult. And like with media and stuff, there's just so many options. Like you can message so many people, and you can try your hardest to get into it, but if they're not down, then you're kind of screwed, because that's how it's all done now. And I've never known anything other than, this whole media-based thing, which I wish I knew. But going into media, like, I just want to talk about, like, where I think music is going, because I feel like I've kind of noticed this, like, jump in, like, not, like, it's, like, not filler music. I don't know what exactly to call it, but it's just, like, elevator music, but, indie boy. And, you go on, like, TikTok, for example, which is going to come up a lot in this episode, I have a feeling. But you think about that, and it's, like, the same 3 chords over and over again, and it's, like, some dude singing in cursive and shit. And it's, like, I wish that the things that were, so much cooler would come out. Because, like, the number one artist that I've been thinking about lately when it comes to, like, the future of music is probably Biba Doobie. And, like, the band that she carries with her. Like, it's just so amazing. It kind of almost makes me nostalgic for a time that I've never experienced. Because, it sounds very much like the Sundays and the Cardigans and, like, all of those the bands, from, I think those are, like, late 90s, mid 90s. So it has a very specific sound. It's just like that British cool chick thing, But I really do think she's carrying a big chunk of the, like, alternative music industry on her back as we speak. Like, she released, like, Beatopia, which is a great, amazing record. And I'm not sure how it doesn't have radio plays, because there's some really, like, I'm doing air quotes right now, really pop sounding tunes on there, but it's just driven in such a way, and it's produced and, like, formed in such a way that it has soul to it, which I think is missing in a lot of popular music today, at least from what I've seen. Because, I mean, hello, I am 18. I was born in 2004. I didn't live through, like, the golden age of radio, but or at least I wasn't, like, cognitive of it. But I feel like it's really, what she's doing is a really good thing, and it's not like it's just studio recordings. It's like live, like, here, I'll give you some recs. Like, her performance at, I'm not sure how to say this name, but TRNSMT Festival 2022, her Glastonbury 2022 performance, and her Reading 2021 performances are amazing. I mean, they really are. And I don't know why they don't get more recognition. I mean, and, like, I've seen a fair amount of it because I'm so in tune with that scene and I love her music. And the people on her record, because I think she's signed to Dirty Hit, which is, I think, started by, it might be Maddie Healy from the 1975. But I know that there's a bunch of artists like that on there, so I'm aware of it, but I think a lot of people aren't, and it's disappointing. And I think the same goes for probably, like, I think Wolf Alice, they have that is like a full out band, whereas Biba Doobie is like the lead singer, and then there's like her live band, even though I think they play in all of their recordings, but that's besides the point. At the same festival, TRNSMT Festival 2018, Wolf Alice, that is one of the, I was mesmerized by that performance all throughout like last summer. It was all I watched, all I listened to. I mean, I think, what's her name? Allison, the lead singer is just outstanding. And, like her and Biba Doobie, what they have similar is just the way that they literally carry the entire like alternative music industry on their back. Like, I don't care. That's like what I believe. And like, there's like a bunch of smaller bands that I'm not mentioning because I'm, kind of stupid, so I'm forgetting. But those are like the main ones that come to mind, where like they are big enough to where they're obviously supporting themselves and they are touring these big festivals and stuff. But when it comes to people acknowledging like their contributions to music and like bigger stages and stuff, it's just not talked about as much. And I think it's kind of a bummer, because I think that kind of plays into something I did want to talk about, which is how difficult it is to really like feel like you're a part of like a music group or scene or culture. Like here in Kenosha, I've tried multiple times to, get connected with people, and, I've messaged people and talked to people, and I don't know, it seems like there's some hesitation, and it's just kind of disappointing because you'd think that, being in and enjoying what we do, which is, alternative music and art and culture and all of that, you would think that my generation would be so much more like open to, I mean, I really do. I think some of it comes down to just being a girl. And I really wish that wasn't the case. But I feel like it's kind of, that changes how it's interpreted. Because I feel like, you texting like some dude being like, hey, we should jam sometime. I feel like that can be interpreted coming from a chick, if they're into chicks, like that can be interpreted as like some kind of flirting maybe. I don't know if, or maybe I just like look scary, which could be a thing. But I don't know. I mean, I know it's not that deep because I'm not like Joan Jett, because hello, she's been there, done that, but I can't get over the hesitation, and even my closest friends, like, I'm not going to name any names, but it's just, even when there is something there, and it seems like there is musically, and it's just, even if you click with them, it's just so odd that there's that hesitation, or that like nobody wants to take that leap of faith. And I'm really working on that. So, I'll probably leave my contact info, like my emails and, Gmails and all that stuff, in like the bios of like all the platforms that this is going on, just to, see if there's any other people out there that are looking for something, because I'm totally down, because, I just got done talking about it. I've been trying, to shoot for getting some form of group together, but it's like just not happening, and it's so frustrating, because I would love for it to be a part of my life, and like this whole podcast thing is like part of that, because I'm, getting your voice out there and all of that. But there is something, like, I just want to perform. I just want to do like a house show, like that is a dream come true. I want to be in a sweaty basement in Madison at the Mousetrap. Like, I don't care. Like, that's what I want. And it's just so difficult to do that. And I don't know if it was difficult to do that 30 years ago. I mean, I'm assuming it was for, at least chicks and, anybody that wasn't being pushed by like bigger people, but it just seems like so unattainable. And I'm really am looking to change that. So I will leave my contact shit in all the bios, because I will probably be putting this on YouTube as well. So you can, reach out to me there. Like I said, bass and guitar, could do vocals. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. I don't think I'm terrible, but this type of stuff I listen to, it doesn't really matter about the technical side of it. It's just like if it sounds good or cool, that works, But yeah, I've been coming up with some original, some little riffs and chops and whatever you want to call it. I haven't really posted any of it because there's so much judgment that's possible, and me and Evan were talking about this. We were watching, he sent me like clips of like Grateful Dead, like attendees, I think it was 90 and 91 shows. And we were just talking about how there's like, it's people that don't take themselves too seriously, which is a problem. It's like a good mix between that, like not taking yourself too seriously or like not serious at all, and then being semi-serious, and not being like a jerk. Like it seemed like there's such a good mix. And I feel like that's why me and Evan get along, because he has that, and I would like to think that I have that too. But it's just very difficult to find people like that, so I'm grateful for the friends that I do have. And even the people listening to this, I feel like if you're listening to this, you're pretty rad, because I mean, we got to be interested in the same shit. Or you're just being a good friend and playing this without listening to it, which is also cool. You could do that. I'm not against it. But yeah, I'm going to keep this short, just because, I don't know, I'm kind of just going on a big long tangent about how disappointed I am in the industry, which is not completely true. I'm just being kind of over exaggerative, because like I am enjoying myself, and I do feel at home when I'm with the people closest to me, like I said, like Evan, and like the guys from Gold Label, Alex and Jack. They have been, I reached out to them and they reached out back with open arms, and I'm recording this on October 27th afternoon, so I think tomorrow me and Evan are going to go see them at a show. I hope that goes well. But yeah, you'll probably see them on here next. I've got some friends from, the studio and the podcast organization and the radio organization, whatever you want to call it. And, people like my dad, and just friends. Like I want to get my friend Margaret on here. Marge is absolutely hilarious, and Kaylin, and just all of them, really. They got to come down they're all in like Madison and Milwaukee and all that. So we're going to have to figure out how to make it work, but it's something that we would really like to do. I think a lot of people would enjoy it. It's just, funny college kid banter. But yeah, the last person that I wanted to talk about is probably my dad. I mean, like, I'm going to attempt to get him on. He was born in, I think, 72 or 71. And so he was like, he grew up, he was like an adolescent, like a 12-year-old, like in that like cool 80s Cali punk thing. And, so he went to Guar. I think I mentioned this. I don't know. I'm going to have to like edit this because I'm all over the place because Evan's not here to keep me in check. But, like he saw Guar in 91, I believe. So I think that's when Sick of You, I think their first album or second album came out. And that kind of sums up him as a person, It's that perfect balance, just like the Grateful Dead heads, where it's like you have these people that, they take their life seriously, okay? Like they're not like super stupid. They're not like idiotic, but they don't take it too seriously to the point where it's like, okay, you like, you know, take the stick out of your ass, man. It's just like, it's, I don't know. I feel like it's, I mean, that's kind of where I get it from. Like I said, I would hope that I had that. But that's definitely where I get my taste from. You know, like Pearl Jam. Speaking of Pearl Jam, Daughter. Everybody listening to this needs to listen to Daughter and watch, I think, SNL. They performed Daughter on SNL, or at least, like, it was an outtake during a rehearsal or a sound check. That is, I mean, it's gorgeous. You've got the bass player, I think Jeff Ament. You know, he's playing like an upright electric bass, I think. And that's amazing. He's like one of my number one inspirations, other than like Darcy Retzky and probably Eliana from Biba Doobie. But, and Kim Gordon, of course, hello. And like literally all of the other chick bassists and just bassists in general. You know, from bands that I enjoy. But that's besides the point. I could go on about that for literally ever, and this would not be a short episode if I did that. But I'll give you some recs now. But Soul Rebel, Bob Marley and the Wailers, Wicked Game, Chris Isaak, Savlaki Space Station by Slowdive. Slowdive it's one of those bands, it's a shoegaze band, which I think I'm going to try to do one episode where I really get into it, because shoegaze is just such a gorgeous genre. But Savlaki Space Station is one of, like, it's just such an amazing song, and it holds up, which is very important. Like, the band is still together, I believe. And, Kay just texted me. She texted me and asked me to print her a shirt that says, she said, "Can you make me a shirt that says Academic Weapon?" And I asked her, like, for font, and she said Comic Sans preferably. So that's Kaylin. You know, hopefully you'll say hi to her at some point, but there's that. Anyways, So Real by Jeff Buckley. Another one I've been kind of making not a meme out of it, because it's like genuinely an amazing song, but I don't know. I've been saying it's Marge's theme song, which is accurate, because half of the song is just, what is he saying? It was like, that was so real, which is usually how any conversation with her goes. It ends with, that was so real, you know, and then there's like a good giggle happening. But, there's that. Trouble by Elvis. Now, I know that this is like a meme, but that, like, the first half of the song is really cool. Like, when he gets into that raspy, like, he goes, green-eyed, something, something. That shit is amazing. And, like, I don't care. It kind of gives me the same thing as, like, Joan Jett when she does, like, her crazy growl things, which I do have a rec from her that I will give. But, like, I don't know. I think that song specifically, the first half, is gorgeous. When it switches up, I don't know that I like it that much, but I do genuinely and unironically like listening to the first half of Trouble by Elvis Presley. Now, the Joan Jett recommendation is Spear and the Magic Helmet by Evil Stig and Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Now, this was I think a tribute to Mia Zapata from The Gits, who I think I talked about last episode. But she was, like, raped and murdered in 93 or 94, I think. But Joan Jett really digged her sound, and so they did, like, a really cool collaboration album. And if I'm correct, I think Evil Stig is the remaining members of The Gits. And then Joan Jett and the Blackhearts is Joan Jett, like, her on her vocals. And Joan Jett absolutely tears up Spear and the Magic Helmet. Like, she does more of like a punk rock thing. Not that, like, her early stuff isn't punk rock. Like, Bad Reputation, obviously, is like an early 80s punk rock and, like, just alternative, like, theme, like, anthem, really. And, you know, same goes with, like, the Runaways. Like, Joan Jett always had that. And I did get a comment that said, like, that is literally you, from Alana, because I posted a picture of Joan Jett with the Sex Pistols DIY t-shirt on, you know, where she's, like, leaning on the bed. That shit literally made my day, so thanks, Alana. But yeah, Joan Jett, like Runaways Days as well. Like it just, I don't know, it just evokes something. Like that rasp is just amazing. And yeah, there's one like Clairo song. I keep talking about Clairo, but an unreleased like song that you can find all over YouTube, and a majority of them are recorded pretty well, is I Want More Time. It's a gorgeous song, and it's like, it's kind of where I would like to be in songwriting, because I would like to, do songwriting and do, my own original things and come up with my own original songs. And I don't know that I'm quite there yet, but I'm definitely getting there. But that's like a perfect example of like, it's just gorgeous songwriting. And the same with, majority of her songs, like Bags. I will probably mention it every single time I'm here, is Bags, and how amazing it is. North by Clairo, and just like literally any of the bands that I'm talking, like Pearl Jam, like I would like to get to the point where I can just sing poetry, or, in like punk rock sing like insults and shit, which is fun. It's very fun. But yeah, thank you for listening. Yeah, next episode will probably be a little longer. I'll be with Evan again. I would like to dig into maybe a concept album and really dig into it, or dig into like our favorite bands and, gear and like the techniques that we use. Not that we use anything insane, but, just for people that are listening that would like to get into it, and would like to contact us about it and, maybe get something together. But yeah, thank you for listening again. It really does mean a lot. I know 19 people doesn't seem like a shit ton, because it's not. But it's really cool to know that there's 19 people that can stand to listen to my voice and are like, oh, that's cool, So thank you a ton. All right, bye.